The fertility rate in the United States has dropped to an all-time low, according to new federal data.
New data released by the CDC shows the number of children women are having has decreased for a second year in a row. The record level decline last year is leading to fears there may not be enough children to sustain the next generation.
Listen to this. The birth rate in the U.S. is dropping and actually hit an all-time low in 2024. Fewer than 1.6 children were born per woman last year. In the early 1960s, the total fertility rate was around 3.5. But a CDC review of birth certificates released earlier this year found a 1% increase in live births in 2024. That's about 33,000 more than the year prior.
Very often, I'm literally saying women stand on their heads. They've done everything possible. They quit drinking coffee, alcohol. They drink green smoothies. They're not eating gluten. They literally stopped enjoying life. No one is looking at her partner, at her mate partner, that is. So I say fertility is a tango. It takes two to tango. It's the mindset, it's nutrition. Sperm is an easier task because, you may know it, male sperm renews in about 90 days. That means male body produces brand new fresh sperm every 90 days. There's a great news that male infertility can be improved drastically. Female eggs, they are aging. They are not only aging, there is less of them.
Is something standing between you and your happiness? It was for me. I had to face my depression and the constant negative self-talk. Therapy helped me realize I deserve to be happy. That's why this podcast is called I Choose Health, because I made the choice to heal and I want to share that with you. As a gift to you, we've partnered with BetterHelp as our sponsor to help you start your own healing journey. We all face moments when life feels overwhelming, whether it's stress, anxiety, or just feeling stuck. Talking to someone can make a real difference. And that's where our sponsor BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp offers professional online therapy that's convenient, affordable, and entirely on your schedule. You can connect with a licensed therapist by video, phone, or even chat, whatever works best for you. Let our sponsor BetterHelp support you on your journey to better mental health. You can get 10% off your first month by going to betterhelp.com/iChooseHealth. That's betterhelp.com/iChooseHealth for 10% off your first month. Take the first step toward feeling better today. So infertility is often seen as just a woman's issue, but we know it can affect both men and women. From your perspective, Aneta, what are the most overlooked causes of infertility?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me back, and thank you for another interesting, hopefully entertaining chat as well. Mm-hmm. Infertility and fertility itself, it's probably the hottest topic along a plastic aesthetic surgeries, procedures, and IVF these days, I would say. The three biggest businesses. And as you wisely said, infertility was considered female problem, but it's no longer. For about 12 years, I would say, we go in pairs. So it's 50-50 or 40-40 male and female problem. And then it's about the 20 both or so-called undiagnosed infertility.
My question is here, how do lifestyle factors like stress, sleep quality, and diet play into fertility challenges?
Great question. So having worked in infertility, or rather fertility, and challenges towards it, because I would rather work towards positive mindset. After those 20 years working with people, I've realized or came to the conclusions that reproductive health is the extension of the overall well-being. And the overall well-being, it's mind and body. And the mind and body, the optimal conditions of mind and body come from optimal sleep, good nutrition, good body performance. The mind and body in tune together, they also translate into functioning well fertility.
I find that to be such an interesting reality, the interconnectivity of health, right? In the sense of how you eat and how you rest, how that impacts your overall health in terms of like your mental health, and then how your mental health may also affect the way that you eat and rest as well. So it's so important to see the foundation of mental health, why it is so important to make sure that that is strong.
Oh, totally. But it's what I also find very interesting. You know, there's this question, the hen was first or the egg? And the same comes
Mm-hmm.
with physical and mental health. And we can't separate them because what's going on here, how this neuron works, how I perceive the world here, which can be based on a bit of genetics, life challenges, and how I respond to life challenges will affect everything in my body. Because if this makes me feel I feel unsafe, this will affect my digestion, my sleep, my reproductive health. This will upset my hormones. They will boost any potential autoimmune conditions. Then if I abuse my body and I think, okay, I will sleep when I'm dead, or food is so expensive, let me get McDonald's 5 times a week. The brain fog, the lack of any ambitions in a way, the not having curiosity of any sort of development in the body, in the mind, it's just all connected.
Yeah. Now, many women believe infertility is only about age. What are some of the less obvious biological or environmental factors that can make conception difficult?
Yes, I cannot say age is not important. And looking through sociology, our parents, even grandparents, they were getting married first, then having kids age 16, 25, having first child was very late.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I don't know anyone in my circle who by choice would be willing to become a parent by the age 25. Of course, we're not talking about arranged marriages. We're not talking about people that just became pregnant.
Right.
But right now where we are, women got the jobs. Women work 8-10 hours a day. We all, either the world become busier, more expensive, but we all thinking of getting the basis, which means when I get the place, when I get some savings, when I get the partner, then I'm ready. Very often when I'm ready in these aspects, my body is no longer, or my body is starting to get the challenges. So that probably starts happening, and depending on genetics, again, on the external factors, about age 35. And currently my clients, my youngest clients on average are 40 plus. This is when they are ready, either as a parent with a partner or single parent. They are financially ready. They are in the certain social position. They've got their property. They are ready. The body is not ready. So apart from age, which is still important factor, we think of the other factors that I just mentioned, but we also, we eat the way we eat. Most of the stuff we buy comes from any form of plastic. I'm saying the plastic packages. Even if you buy that healthy salads, it comes from the plastic. Even if you buy water, it comes from the plastic. We spend so much time in front of the screens. Like, you may not know it, or maybe you do, but 99% of men I work with, they have no idea that keeping their mobile phone in the front pocket affects their fertility. Using laptops on our laps, terrible mistake for both females and males. Toxins, for example, perfumes. And I won't be very popular, but nails, acrylic nails. There is a reason why the ladies who offer this service, they wear the masks. This is so carcinogenic. And there are so many nail vessels just below the nail. This is toxicity on the highest level. Extreme makeup, all the Botox, all the anti-aging procedures, hair dyes. That's a lot that affects our fertility. Lycra pants, the overpriced yoga pants, very bad for fertility. Circulation, also they are made of plastic. So I don't want to stress anyone. I don't want to alarm, but just to be aware that literally everything around us is causing us our fertility. So if anyone is saving the money for in vitro or any medical support in becoming a parent, I would first look into your immediate environment and first look into the foods, into what you feed your brain with, what you're putting on your skin. Skin is the biggest detox organ. And I just always say with my clients in a very simple way, if you can't eat it, why would you put it on your skin? In a very simple way, because if supposedly a woman, before leaving a home, she's already applied 12 different products. And we're talking simple way. You may apply it 6 as a man. What are we talking about? You have a shower, shampoo, conditioner, soap or body gel, moisturizer, eye cream, some sort of makeup, a body cream, some sort of perfume, antiperspirant. It's just already 8 I mentioned. And we're talking the basic. So there is just so much we're putting into our body. We have no idea most of the time. So our body and our skin, as the biggest organ of detoxification, is constantly fighting with not allowing any of this leak into our blood.
Man, Aneta, you're out here dropping, as we would say in America, you're dropping bombs, you're dropping gems here.
I know, and I might not be popular, but my life intention, my vocation is not to be popular. My biggest dream is to help people understand what we're getting ourselves into and how less is more. That was the reason I wrote the book, How to Get Pregnant, Shortcut to Your Fertility, which is like a Bible for not just for the people who want to get pregnant, but literally for mostly women, because it talks about the story of the whole reproductive age and very famous. I'm saying famous because they are word now. Everyone talks about endometriosis, PCOS, perimenopause. All these subjects are in the book, and how without medical intervention we can actually make changes to feel better.
Yeah. And we're definitely going to post the links down to Aneta's books. You guys should definitely look into them. They're definitely very helpful. Everything that she's sharing here is very helpful. And I know she went down the line of things that, we probably shouldn't be included in our day-to-day rituals. And that may be a shocker. It feels like you have to upend most of your day, but that's not what she's saying here. It's looking at healthier alternatives in a way that you go about organizing your day, curating your appearance. All of that is to be really dictated by health, right? Thinking about what is the best way that I can bring myself in a healthy way, whether that is using products that are not as harmful or toxic, and that this is what she's, bringing us to consider.
Absolutely. And I'm not without guilt because I'm also using product and I also love my food. But they are very simple swaps. Sure, less is more. So we can think if I need to use all the products I'm buying, but also looking at the ingredients, what's in it. If half of the ingredients I can't pronounce, why would I put it on my skin? There are also apps. We can use technology in our favor. There are apps who will tell you and classify the product in terms of how much toxins it's in it.
Looking at hormonal health, particularly cortisol and insulin, how does that affect reproductive health in both men and women?
What an interesting question. You're very well prepared, I'm seeing. Cortisol, it's actually probably the most famous, I would say, hormone that's being talked about in the world. What's cortisol? Cortisol is not so much per se first line hormone of fertility, but that's the one we need to cause us a bit of stress. We need cortisol. Why we need cortisol? Why we need a bit of stress? Think of a baby. If a baby didn't have any stress, the baby would never learn to walk, talk, or eat by himself. If we as humans never got stressed in life, we would never learn how to write, read. We would never get on the interview for the first job. We would never propose if marriage was in our cards. You would never achieve any of those things. So we need a bit of cortisol. We need a bit of stress. This is all good and healthy. But what happens? Now we live in times when we constantly overstressed, when we constantly with this cortisol up off the roof. That is through dopamine, that is through external. We're bombarded by everything around us. So there is so much that's being overused. First of all, we can say, for example, caffeine, right? One coffee in the morning that we used before for clarity worked fantastically and we were sharp-minded for the rest of the day. But it starts with one coffee. Suddenly your body gets so used to it that you think 4 o'clock, I need another one. And that runs fantastically until, I don't know, November comes in the Northern Hemisphere and you think like 11, I need a coffee. And then you can't even last till 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I need a coffee. But I need another kick. I'm going to have a chocolate bar with that coffee. Oh, how about maybe I need something else? Maybe I need a cigarette. Maybe I need another stimulation. How about to relax in the evening? I've got 2 hours of Netflix. That's stimulation. That's lifting your cortisol. So everything we do in the modern world stimulates us. There is hardly any time that we switched off, literally, that we enjoy the silence when we don't have to speak, we don't have to watch anything. That's probably the only time when we're not being stimulated. Or when we're limiting alcohol, caffeine, nicotine. And cortisol starts right now even younger because of the use, exposure to social media, mobile phones. Probably teenagers in the puberty age are already what I saw, the spikes of cortisol in their lives. So it's constant chronic feeling like I'm on the edge and I want, I'm high achiever. I need to get this done. And we spoke last time, why would I sleep? I need to be efficient. I need to get shit done.
Now, apart from infertility not only being an issue that affects women or men, are there common myths about infertility that you like to debunk?
Let's think. One is the age, as we said. Sure, with age, the body is aging, the body is changing. So many women over age 35, they are told, your eggs are too old. And very often, I'm literally saying, women stand on their heads. They've done everything possible. They quit drinking coffee, alcohol. They drink green smoothies. They're not eating gluten. They literally stopped enjoying life. No one is looking at her partner, at her male partner, that is. So I say fertility is a tango. It takes 2 to tango. It's the mindset, it's nutrition. Sperm is an easier task because, you may know it, male sperm renews in about 90 days. That means male body produces brand new fresh sperm every 90 days. So there's a great news that male infertility can be improved drastically. Female eggs, they are aging. They are not only aging, there is less of them. So female might be born with few billion of eggs. And then she's losing those eggs. Entering in her 40s, where unfortunately now many women are thinking of becoming parents, they might be left with few thousand. I'm still telling them, I don't think you need few thousand kids. I think 1 or 2 you would be happy. I always humor them with a joke and it calms them down. So the science has confirmed that the eggs quality can be improved. So for any women right now, if they are over 35 and they are thinking of becoming mothers, think of the quality of your eggs. Now, when we take sperm comes with 2 parameters. First of all, how fast the sperm swims. And secondly is what the sperm looks like. We want these two parameters to be good. As I said, sperm is an easy job, unless there is any chronic health and the male is on, steroids or some sort of medication. There won't be 90 days, there'll be maybe 6 months, but on average, it's about 3 months to improve the sperm health. When sperm meets the egg, during the act of conception, we don't have to talk about it in details. If there is a lucky chance and the embryo gets produced, the egg needs to correct the sperm. So, gentlemen, if you with your partner are consciously deciding to become parents, please do your job, because it's much easier for you than 90 days to work on your health. Because egg with age will not become excellent. Egg may become better. If your partner is over 40, she won't have excellent age like she was 25. But her eggs can become better. And the egg's job is to improve the sperm. So if average egg still needs to take the time and energy and its quality to improve the sperm, we not may have excellent embryo. And those not so excellent embryos, they got discarded, aka miscarriage. So I hope this is a powerful message for men. 90 days. It takes 90 days to improve sperm. How we can improve it? As I said, no mobile phones in your front pockets, no laptops on your laps. Quit smoking. Reconsider your alcohol consumption, your coffee consumption. Think what you put onto your mouth. Think what you put onto your body. Think on, I won't be saying quit working, we work long hours. Think you need to move your body. Now, moving the body, cycling, it's not recommended for men thinking of becoming fathers, nor saunas, nor hot tubs, jacuzzis. That's just the hot water is not good for sperm quality. That's the science. Stress management. But stress management goes to anything, goes to sleep, goes to what nutritional choices we have, goes to the professional performance, and everything goes. So finding this one thing every day that gives you joy. And I'm not saying each of us should pray or meditate. I'm saying if you have your coffee in the morning, don't scroll. Maybe sit in silence. Maybe look through the window and just appreciate something that you've got around you. Maybe listen to this cheerful song you love. Maybe have a little chat with your partner, with your child. Just something that makes you present and aware. Something that makes you appreciate what you already have.
Yeah. And that's interesting because I think about men, particularly men who get into their 40s, and these are usually men who have already, had kids or whatever, but a lot of them usually use cycling as a exercise alternative, right? They don't want to do the typical like weightlifting sometimes, so they just want to get into cycling. And so for me personally, I've always found cycling to be, as a man, always to be uncomfortable. So I've always found ways, whether it's running, weightlifting, I always do a combination of those two. So I just always found it interesting where men will get into their 40s and 50s and then pick up cycling.
You know what it could be? It could be the stress release. You cardio exercise, you sweat a lot, and you need to be so on it that you can switch off from everything else that's going on in your life. But first of all, those men who take cycling seriously, they wear Lycra, which, as I said already, for male and female, it's not the best choice of fertility outwear. And secondly, as you said, just that this saddle was not designed to be comfortable for men.
Yeah.
It's just the way.
So looking at it from the prevention standpoint, if a woman is not yet trying to conceive, what are some proactive steps she can take to protect her fertility?
Okay. What I call it a trimester zero. So I always say, take at least one trimester. That is if you under 35 plus. If you're over 35 and plus, take 6 months. But don't wait for too long. First of all, it's the medical assessment, the basic blood test and learn. Please understand. This is for male and females, because very often I've got female clients who have no idea what ovulation is, what's the menstrual cycle. And I've got men who freak out because that's the young gentlemen, which I teach, that they can make someone pregnant. And I explain to them, female body can get pregnant only 5 days a month. Many people don't understand it. So female cycle per books should be around 28 days. I am yet to meet a woman who's got that cycle every 28 days. Can be 21, can be 25, 27, 30 plus. If it's over 40, it's considered not optimal. This is where the womb uterine lining is cleansing up, and that cleanse comes out as a menstrual bleeding monthly, or every 30, 21 days. Because the female body in reproductive age prepares every month to get pregnant, aka sperm meets egg, embryo is created, and the uterine lining is prepared, nice and juicy with blood and nutrients to host that embryo for the next 9 months. If this doesn't happen, the lining is coming out in the form of the blood. Now, somewhere in between the first day of bleed into the next bleed, somewhere in the middle, ideally, ovulation happens. What's that? Female body has got follicles, and they on both sides of the body, of the reproductive organs, and they look like the branches. And on the branches, we've got eggs. And once a month, one of the eggs becomes ripe and ready and drops. When it drops, and it happens that there was sexual intercourse and the sperm entered, they likely might meet. And when they meet, there is a chance potentially for creating an embryo. Now, it doesn't need to happen. So if the couple is trying to get pregnant, they don't have to use ovulation stick and right now we need to be in the bedroom for the next 2 days. No. Sperm can survive in female body up to 5 days. This is why I said that there's only 5 days a month that women can get pregnant. Women ovulation is literally 1 day event. That's literally when this egg drops and it's ready to meet the sperm. If it doesn't meet the sperm, menstruation happens. But if she had intercourse during the 5 days window, in before or after, then there's a chance for pregnancy to happen. This is a great way of natural contraception as well. So people will understand, okay, ladies, and then if you're a couple, understand your cycle, understand when the ovulation happens to prevent unwanted pregnancy and to work towards wanted pregnancy.
So what role does gut health and the microbiome play in fertility?
Wow. How much time do we have? Because I could talk about microbiome till Christmas.
All right, let's go. We'll put a clock on now.
Yes.
Let's go.
So I always try to speak as simply as possible, so because I'm so fascinated by these subjects that, anything wellness and body, and I've worked so much with it, but I also lecture it. So I'm trying to adjust the answers to your questions as to the audience, so it doesn't sound like too esoteric. I've got no idea what she's talking about it. So when we talk about guts or microbiome, so we talk about the pipes in our body that if we unroll them, that would be the size of a football pitch. Massive, right? And basically everything we put into our mouth goes through the neck and it goes onto microbiome, and depends how optimal functioning is. It will come out of our body. Before it comes out, of course, we've got a liver and pancreas and stomach. Liver is like a recycling organ which says, okay, I will take this. This is good. I can produce blood sugar out of this. I can recycle this. This is toxins. I don't want it. Get it out as soon as out of the body. So it's escorting it out. Now, genetic predisposition, overall health predisposition may create not so optimal microbiome gut situation where the gut, instead of picking up extra nutrients and creating something good, useful for the body, the gut is expelling everything without anything left. This is called gut permeability, and also could be called the condition leaky gut, where something that's not well digested, something that can give us some sort of allergies, bloating, diarrhea, maybe skin rash, maybe fever, maybe I'm thinking of any headaches, any not optimal well-being symptoms, but they are not devastating in a way I cannot function. I can be running nose, I can have sinusitis. This can be all caused of eczema. For example, myself in my 20s, I had eczema on my hands, and I've tried everything possible, steroids, intolerance tests, and I've realized I need to fix my guts. So what's going on in my guts, which is happening in most cases of people, we've got these two types of bacteria, the goodies and baddies. In overall, we want to have the goodies over the baddies. Depending on our nutritional choices, depending how processed the food is, how much we sleep, how stressed we are, how much sports or movement we perform, it may happen, or how much antibiotics we had to take, injections, vaccinations, anything that's not optimal for our health. The negative bacteria may overgrow the positive ones. And we're not absorbing the nutrients from the foods we eat, even from supplements. And then we've got all those symptoms I just mentioned. So ideally, we think the easiest way is to literally think how I feel after every meal. Do I feel bloated? Do I feel very heavy? Do I feel gassy? Do I get any symptoms? Maybe is my skin optimal? Am I losing my hair? Do I have energy after food? Do I sleep well? Do I have brain fog? Thinking about all those things and slowly making better nutritional choices. That is, less processed food, having few meals a week made at home, having some sort of fermented foods, taking some sort of prebiotic and probiotic. The difference between pre and pro. Pre is the foods, pro is the
Yeah. Now, are there nutritional strategies, and I know you just spoke about that, or supplements that women should consider to support reproductive health long term? Are there specific supplements that they want to focus on?
Yes, there is one that every doctor wants to give you is folic acid. And I shout, no, no, no. Folic acid is a synthetic version of vitamin B9. In other words, it's folate. Many of us, about 70% of female I worked with, has a gene mutation, MTFHR mutation. What that means, male as well, but male are not so prone. Male are asked to take zinc for sperm quality, other vitamins, not so much folate. And I'm saying to women, if you take folic acid because it's a commonly known folic acid, or it's added to from the 60s, just because after the war and after the malnourished nation, there were many miscarriages, and they decided, in the Western world, we will add folic acid to the breakfast cereals and to the bread. So they were all enhanced in folic acid. And yes, we were better nourished, but it also started creating or helping this gene mutation that I'm talking about. And what does gene mutation mean? That means if you already have this gene mutation, you can't absorb folic acid in the synthetic form, and you taking additional folic acid, it gets stuck in your body can't expel it, can't absorb it, but it also stops your body from absorbing folate in natural form, which is green veggies, which is good quality grains. So I'm not saying green veggies, good quality grains are enough. I say check the blood test first and make sure that your vitamins that peri-pregnancy and that pregnancy contain folate, natural form of benign, not folic acid. Besides that, there would be also vitamins A, D, E, K. They are probably the most important, I would say. There's so much to talk about it and others, but I would just make sure first with the blood test, because I always say less is more. So the most important would be the folate, and the most important second thing is eat your fats. We're so scared of fats these days, and fat is the best thing that could happen to us. I'm not talking processed, ultra-processed fats. I'm talking about the natural fats. I'm talking about good quality meat and fish. I'm talking about omegas. I'm talking about cod liver oil. I'm talking about good quality butter. I'm talking about nuts, avocados. Why we all need fats? Fats promote our hormonal well-being. Our hormones thrive on fats. We don't get fat because we eat fats. We get fat because we don't eat optimal food, because our body is starved, especially when we get hooked on sugar. And we've got sugar in everything that was fat deprived. If you think about 0%, let's say Greek fat yogurt, right? Because you were told that fat is not healthy, or milk. If this is distracted of fat, it tastes like paper. It's got no flavor. What's added to make it more palatable? Sugar. So eating this sugar-replaced food, we develop the taste buds, that something that's palatable, tastes good, but we're not giving our hormones, our body, minerals and vitamins they need. We might be adding weight to our body, adding kilograms, stones, but our bodies are starved. Very often, I've got, as a nutritional therapist, I've got overweight, obese people who come to me and they are starved, they are anemic. And you think, how is this even possible? That's because their bodies haven't received the nutrients.
Interesting. So I want to take this podcast in the direction of encouraging hope. Like whatever we've been saying here has definitely been giving hope. But I know for many women, this is a very sensitive topic. And for many women, they face multiple miscarriages or failed IVF cycles. How can they rebuild hope while still taking care of their mental health?
Yes, it's a very sensitive question. And this is my daily bread, that subject, because I can help some. And as you said, there's so many who we can't, because they deal with on a very deep level of autoimmune conditions or severe health problems, which they didn't know that actually started somewhere in childhood, or some genetic conditions. Some people, depends on their emotional resilience, they learn how to live life without being a biological parent. This is a very difficult subject. And as I said, it's very difficult just to drop the question and answer right now, right here, when we talk about the physical, biological aspects of fertility, because infertility brings a lot of grief as well. Grief that nobody sees. When you lost a parent, when you lost a friend, a spouse, the external world sees that and they give you condolences, they give you time off. But if you're dealing with infertility or miscarriage, it's such a shame and taboo subject. I don't know why, and I'm still working on changing it, because I would love to help those couples and those females who suffer alone in silence. But I'm saying what it is right now. Right now, they suffer alone. Some of the companies in certain countries, they give you a few days off for grieving, for that loss. But that loss is so undescribable, because you haven't met that person. You really wanted them to be. You literally lost a few milliliters or inches embryo, but there was a potential for the family, right? Especially if you've tried for so long. It's a physical pain, because the female body needs to recover from those maternal hormones, from the pregnancy hormones, and that suddenly that sharp drop gives them a lot of mental stress, physical stress. Then second level is exactly the loss, how to deal with the loss and how to cope with that potential hope and vision of different future. So there is a lot of groups. They are trained psychologists, therapists who help couples, help individuals to overcome that pain. And I'm not saying this pain will be gone. It will be on different level, different stage. There are also many options these days of adopting an embryo, adopting the eggs, surrogate choice. Of course, some choices are only for certain group of people, but there are many, many more options that they were 10, 20, 30 years ago. But that's a very deep and dive topic. So I'm sorry, I don't want to upset anyone, but I need to be so general because I know that the time we have for this conversation.
Now, having shared that, is there a story of transformation that you've witnessed, especially that everyone that you work with, that it can inspire women and couples listening today?
I have beautiful story which made me write this book, which already got me actually to fertility. So I worked as a psychologist, nutritional therapist, detox toxicology, mostly because, as I mentioned to you, I dealt with this eczema, which I couldn't work on with anything. I've done steroids, I've done medical help. Nothing was helping. It was terrible, painful, uncomfortable, shameful. To that point that I have to go to work wearing white gloves, I worked with people and I was laughed at. They were calling me Michael Jackson. It's funny now. Imagine it was not funny for me as a very young professional in a corporate world, right? I'm laughing now as well, but it was not because I actually had sore wounds. I couldn't wash my hair. I couldn't cook my food. I couldn't eat. It was so painful and shameful. So I worked around nutrition and psychology. Suddenly, this couple wants to work with me. They were in early 40s. They've done 17 rounds of IVF.
Wow.
So that's probably they've been married for almost 20 years. And they've been constantly on and off trying. IVF, it's a very expensive business. It's about $20,000 each round. Each round, we're talking about injecting a lot of synthetic hormones into female body. First of all, to boost ovulation. When I was talking about the branches of tree, and naturally what happens that woman drops one, sometimes two eggs, so it may happen that they are twins. When the female body is injected with those synthetic fertility hormones, she will be dropping 10, 15, 20, 30 eggs. There's a surgery, she's being put to sleep. Those eggs are being extracted. Man is asked to provide a sample of sperm. And in the labs, there are embryos created. Then the embryos are being thoroughly checked for the quality. In the process of the embryos making, 30% will survive. The next step will be inserting this embryo into female body. Again, her body is prepared with certain hormones, certain injections. Her body already feels like she was pregnant. That's the whole idea. I won't be boring anyone with the names of the hormones that the body needs to get through to feel like pregnant. The next step is the injection of the embryo. Then is the waiting time. If the embryo accepted the host, which is her body, her womb, her lining, it can fade here as well. Then is the wait of the first 3 months. So there is a very, very, very lengthy, thorough, and expensive process. So this couple comes to me and they said to me, they've had over 20 runs. They are on the verge of losing their house because they went bankrupt. I mean, imagine there's about $20,000 each round. I had them sitting on the camera next to each other, and I could see by body language that they weren't together. There's two individuals going through their personal grief. And how they started to talk, I could see there was so much individual shame and resentment towards each other, because your mind starts creating stories. You look for the solutions of the problem. The easiest way for humans is to blame somebody else, right? We know it. Something doesn't work. It's so easy to feel better. I'm blaming somebody else. I'm blaming politicians. I'm blaming the whatever system. I'm blaming the education. It's very difficult to look in the mirror and take the blame on ourselves. So there was a lot of shame and blame, a lot of pain, a lot of grief, because they kind of knew this is it. All they wanted from me. They both put on weight a lot. Her body was infused on all those hormones, and he was emotional eater due to all this pain that he couldn't support her. He couldn't give her the family she really wanted. And he also wanted to be a father. All they wanted from me is to work mentally on how to live their life after not becoming the parents, and also lose some weight and sleep better. So we started first on this physical level, cleaning their diet, some gentle supplements, herbal remedies, and some positive thinking exercises. When they started getting better, I encouraged them to start dating. Like Thursday night was their cinema night, having conversations, having dialogues, getting to know each other again. And we worked together for 6 months. They've started losing weight. They started feeling better. And I don't like making people dependent on me or any therapist. And actually, that's a message to everyone. If you've worked with your therapist for over 2 years, it's the time to divorce them. Because staying with the same therapist over 2 years creates dependence. You should be able to start working independently. Otherwise, changing the therapist. So we worked the 6 months. I said, okay, I'm here. I won't be holding your hand. Off you go. You've got the foundations. Oh, it's fine. And I've got this, I don't want to say sixth sense, but very often when I work with the clients, I kind of know when they will become pregnant. And also sometimes I would wake up in the night and I would just think, oh, she's having a baby right now. Or when they say they send me the positive pregnancy test, I don't know how, but very often I guess the gender. At first, I was freaking out. I was very scared of this additional knowledge. Right now, I'm accepting it as a gift. So I had this information in my brain telling me contact them, call Michael. I called Michael. Michael picked up. Hi. We're doing well. Yes, we're still dating. We keep losing weight. We sleep better. And by the way, we're pregnant. And I'm like, holy cow, by the way, you made me wait months for this. We're pregnant. So this is the happy end of our conversation. This made me realize that reproductive health is the extension of our overall well-being. And this comes not just to pregnancy and fertility. When we really want something, we're becoming very obsessed with it. When we're so obsessed with it, we actually limit our access to it. So, and I'm learning it every day because I'm work in progress, like everyone here, that when I really want something, I make myself very aware. I write down the steps, what's in my control to get there. And everything else, I need to let go. If you believe in God, you can leave it up to God. You can leave it out to the universe. You can leave it out to the science. Whoever is your choice. But just do what you know is within your control and detach from the outcome. Because when you know you've done your best, you were best informed, you can sleep at night. But be prepared that very often life doesn't come with our script. Very often you decide, I'm going to do this and that. By the age, I'm going to this. I'm going to have 2 kids. You have their names. And life looks at you really, ha, 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 ha. So detachment from the outcome, it's the best philosophy or religion, if you will.
Yeah.
So they had a beautiful boy. She had him at the age of 45.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's a very
amazing.
happy end story.
Yeah. It's interesting what you said about accomplishing or achieving that thing when you pretty much become obsessed with it, or you get to a point where you want to really take hold of that. And it reminded me of a scripture verse, which was saying that you shall find me when you shall search with me with all your heart. Right. And so when you really take hold of something, you try to become one with it, try to understand it. You really start to you come into actualization of it. Right. And so I think what you shared there was really powerful as well.
It's beautiful what you said. Exactly. I
Yeah.
say either this, that, you connect with your heart, but this is for spiritual people, those with faith. And spirituality, religion, and faith, it's not everyone's choice. Some of us are
Hmm.
very technical or pragmatic. So
Hmm.
the detachment, if we talk in the terms of science, detach yourself from the outcome. Do everything you could and then let it go and concentrate on your life. Because this couple, when I asked them, once they had their healthy boy, and I asked them,
Hmm.
what's your biggest regret? And they said, having put our life on pause for 20 years.
Mm.
Any
Interesting.
holidays, they were invited to learn skiing. They invited to go to Australia. No, because it would upset the ovulation timing. No, because there is a
Okay.
chance I can't be moving my body. Because what if I conceived and I start moving my body? And it's just
Mhm.
live your life. Do the best you can. But in the meantime, don't keep anything on pause.
All right. Wow. All right. So we're gonna go into some rapid fire questions. We have probably about 5 or 6 minutes. So we'll start this. We'll probably do about 10 seconds per question, and then we'll start to wrap up. So first question: biggest lifestyle habit that's hurting fertility today?
Toxins.
Mm.
Easy answer, because toxins is everything what I said. What you choose to believe in, what you choose to put on your skin, what you choose to put into your mouth. This is all
Mm.
toxins. Make it yours. If you could choose from today and reduce 5
Mhm.
and see how you feel. When you've got your why and you're starting feeling better, and women can notice the improvement by the menstrual cycle, how they feel, then you can reduce 5 more.
Mhm. Right. Right. What's one daily ritual every woman should do for hormone health?
Mindset.
Mm.
Have the clarity and faith, whatever you want from it. If you want that pregnancy to happen, visualize that you already have it. If you want great happy menopause without too many mental battles, choose the lifestyle that supports it.
Interesting. This one's about coffee. Is coffee a fertility friend or a fertility foe?
You know what I'm going to say. Coffee is not a friend of hormones, sleep, nor fertility. Not only it washes out the iron, but it
Mhm.
also rises the cortisol. Having said that, I'm saying to my clients, have this 1 cup a day with the greatest joy. That 1 cup of coffee, take it and enjoy every single sip of it. Celebrate the aroma, the way you make it, rather than drinking it with guilt.
Yeah.
Nothing was built on guilt. Your hormones won't like it, your fertility won't like it.
Mm. Is there a myth, or let's say let's one myth about infertility that drives you crazy?
I think we already debunked it. I think it's the one about the age, that women over age 35 cannot naturally conceive. That's probably the biggest one. And they are ushered straight away to IVF clinic.
Mm. So I think I know your answer for this next one. Is IVF a miracle solution or last resort?
Neither.
Hmm.
Because for women over, let's say, age 45, they've got equal chances of conceiving naturally as from IVF procedure.
Mm.
Unless there is a egg or embryo are adopted from the surrogate, from a much younger biological mother. So we think, right, we're being sold that IVF is a magical solution. It really is not. Under age 35, sure, increases the chances incredibly. But over 40 is 50-50, and then 35, equal chances as natural conception.
What's the most harmful, and you probably talked about it already, but what's the most harmful hidden toxin for reproductive health?
For male will be just the one thing, which is a lot of toxins and a lot of scientific names, the phones in the front pockets or laptops. For women would be the makeup, cosmetics and stuff. It's palette. There's just so many of them that.
Interesting. And for couples trying to conceive, is there an ideal time of the day for them to engage in intercourse?
It's neither the day, it's neither the pose. It's the timing of the month. Please sit both together like grown-ups who are doing the project, the team project, and learn about the reproductive health and menstrual cycle. And then during the ovulation days, as I said, there's only 5 days a month that female body can get pregnant. Get onto it during those 5 days.
Got it. Well, Aneta, thank you so much for joining us today. This was an amazing interview. And you started out pretty tough, pretty hard. But no, I really appreciate it. It was really amazing, really eye-opening. And then there was just some things that I was reminded of, definitely with the phone thing. I always have it in my pocket, always with me. And this is one of those things where just like limiting your exposure to certain electronics and certain toxins. So things like that are really helpful to be reminded of and to try to be better about limiting your exposure to them.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. And again, it wasn't my intention to hurt anyone's feeling or recreating anyone's image. It's about thinking. It's a food for thoughts. We're thinking what's going on in my lifestyle, how I can change it so I can function better, sleep better, have healthier pregnancies when I'm ready for them. So it's just all the educational purpose. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
wishing everyone the best of luck with what's on their minds, pregnancy or natural contraception, whichever way you wish to go.
And Aneta, just remind folks where they can find you if they're looking to work with you and also get access to your work, including your books and everything else.
Well, the easiest way probably to find me is either on social media. Instagram would be the platform that I'm most active and many people connect. And I share a lot of free advice on the subjects of fertility, well-being, and anything else regarding how to live better and healthier. And through my website, which is my name, anetagrabiec.com. Also, if you're looking into reading any of the books, you can find them on your local Amazon in either amazon.com or amazon. Wherever in the world you are. Thank you once again for having me.
Yes, thank you again, Aneta. And this is me, Stephen Leslie, signing out, just reminding you that choosing health is about choosing possibility, power, and purpose. This is week 25 of 52 Choices. This week's choice is simple but powerful. We're saying to track your workouts to see progress. When you record your workouts, whether it's reps, sets, weights, or time, you create a visible record of improvement. According to research published in the Journal of Sports Sciences, people who self-monitor their training are significantly more consistent and more likely to reach their fitness goals. Why? Because tracking taps into the psychology of motivation. When you see numbers improve, even small ones, you get a dopamine boost that reinforces the habit. In fact, a study from the American Psychological Association found that self-monitoring can double the likelihood of sticking to an exercise program. This week, Write down your workouts, use a fitness app, or even keep a simple notes file on your phone. Progress you can see is progress you'll repeat.